T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Own it, own it, own it, Kong. I own it. It did.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Hi. Hello, hello. Oh, shoot. Yes, that way. Hey, welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. It is your girls. We don't have a name for ourselves, which maybe we should do, because you got the Salt Shakers, you got the Dynamite Dolls. We are your dynamic duo who hosts your Women's Wrestling Army Aftershow. My name is Aisha, and this is Shay. Woo, I got it right. Hello, Shay, how are you?
I'm good. I'm just happy to be here on Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Woo! Okay. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we are going to be discussing, just so if you're joining us for the first time, we are going back through some of the older episodes. We have started at the top before we get a new season of Women's Wrestling Army, yet to be determined. So today we're actually going to be talking about episode 13, Queen versus Demon. Now, we briefly discussed Queen versus Demon in, I didn't look this up, whichever episode that we did, I think a few weeks ago, that was like a behind the scenes. And they briefly talked about like this match between Janai Kai and Queen Aminata, which we will get to. But yeah, so we're excited to be talking about the whole episode in whole, in its entirety.
Yeah, no, I remember because it was like them talking about how like important the match was, because it just made everyone feel like they needed to step their game up. And I was like, I can't wait to watch this. Like, if it really was something that impactful, and then to finally see it, I was like, okay, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
All is right with you. Like,
Yep.
there was 2 other really, really great matches also. So this was just a really, really, probably one of my favorite episodes.
This was, you know what? All 3 were like packed. All 3 matches were packed. So I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. So you want to get into it?
Yes, and hello, Roderick. How are you? Thanks for stopping by.
Hey. Sorry if there's a little bit of freezing. I don't know if that's on my end, but we're gonna roll with the flow. Okay.
With how things were going last week, it might be me.
We'll make it work. We'll make it work.
All right. Well, yes, let's get into it. So initially, it starts off with like a little hype package for Queen Aminata and Janai Kai, their match later. But then we start off with, as you can see from the photo, Mazzerati versus Jordan Blade with Tasha Steelz. Again, we are seeing this duo growing more and more each week. We already know how things end, but you know what? It's nice to see beginning stuff, you know. I was excited about this. You know, I've always been a fan of Jordan Blade. I love the technical aspect of her wrestling. Like, I'm a big technical wrestling fan, so I was definitely into that. And Mazzerati, she's just a firecracker. Like, I just love her. What were your thoughts when you saw these two were about to, you know, lock up?
I was really excited. I actually, now that we know that Mazzerati and Tasha have come to an end, and seeing it from the beginning, it just like really makes me sad, because I'm like, y'all, they work together really well. Like, Tasha Steelz is like the perfect hype woman. She's the perfect one, and I liked it. But I'm really excited. Was really excited to see this pair between Jordan Blade and Mazzerati. So.
Absolutely. They did not disappoint. I really enjoyed this. So let's get this going. So right away, of course, I knew this. This is just like normal Mazzerati beginning. Let me talk crap. Let me flex. You know, hey, listen, she got some nice arms. I can't lie. Flex. But that's every beginning of her match. I'm like, okay, let's get this trash talking out the way, Mazzerati. Let's go. But from the beginning, it looked like Jordan kind of wanted to like go for a lockup, but Mazzerati gets her in like a waist lock instead. But it means nothing to Jordan, as Mazzerati's trying to apply pressure, and Jordan just kind of throws her off with ease. I mean, we can see there's clearly a size difference. So, you know, Jordan's more of the power of this match, whereas Mazzerati she's gonna have to be more quick. And then so we get Jordan then returns her own flexing, kind of like getting back at Mazzerati, which I liked. Jordan gets low, kind of trying to utilize her grappling skills, you know, trying to get Mazzerati in a compromising submission hold. Jordan then gets Mazzerati in a hammer lock, which she then transitions into a headlock. I thought it was so smooth. I love the way Jordan moves. Jordan then gets Mazzerati into a twisting wrist lock. After that, Mazzerati escapes the wrist lock and crawls under Jordan. She boasts about this because, of course, she boasts about this because it's Mazzerati. And then she does jumping jacks right after as well. Don't forget the jumping jacks.
I thought I had a picture of the jumping jacks, and maybe I don't. Nope, I don't have it. I'm getting ahead of myself. But man, I thought I had a picture of it.
When I watched it, I was like, I know she's going to try and get the jumping jacks.
I tried. I think it was just like too chaotic of a movement. So I was like, it was a blur.
It was a lot going on. And so moving and they both lock up again. Mazzerati gets Jordan in her own wrist lock. Jordan escapes this and reverses into a pin attempt. Mazzerati then goes for a roll-up pin attempt, as I expected. Mazzerati's always going to try to get the match done as quick as possible. That's just her. It's a heel tactic. Jordan then hits a pin attempt of her own, I guess just returning the energy, as she should, honestly. Mazzerati goes for Jordan's ankle, but Jordan easily reversed it into a gut-wrench suplex, which I thought was really pretty. After that, Mazzerati goes out of the ring to kind of recuperate. I don't think she expected Jordan to be going this hard in the beginning, but hey, you know what? You boasting, you're going to get back. After that, Jordan walks over to the ropes, but Mazzerati hits her in the midsection and then eat defeat through the ropes. I always love when she does that. Mazzerati's very good with her feet. I know that's, listen, I take that back. I take the sentence back. But then once back in the ring, Mazzerati catches Jordan with a big boot to the face for another pin attempt. After that, Jordan begins fighting back, but Mazzerati keeps control and chokes her in the corner with her feet, as you can see right there. Very painful, not fun. Mazzerati then wrenches Jordan's arm over the second rope, trying to just kind of weaken Jordan. I think that's smart. If the best thing you can do with Jordan, she's very good with her hands, so you have to weaken those, limbs.
Yeah, and it didn't even seem like, when I played it back a couple times, that like when she like wrenched her arm, it didn't look like it would hurt, but I was like, oh, those ropes though, like, right, like you forget, like those ropes they're heavy, they're not like a little whatever. But I think you're absolutely right. I think that was definitely smart on Mazzerati's part.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed about Mazzerati. While she is very loud, very in your face, she's also a thinker. She's always paying attention. So
yeah,
love that about her. So after that, Maserati stomps on the arm of Jordan Blade before getting her into a hammerlock. Jordan tries to escape, but Maserati gets a hold of her arm again. Jordan sneaks in a pin attempt because of this. After that, Maserati drives her knees into Jordan's elbow. I mean, she is not letting up on this at all, which makes sense. Maserati goes for a float over pin attempt, which Jordan reverses and starts hammering away at Maserati. Jordan chops Maserati in the corner and then tried to take Maserati out of the corner, but Maserati reverses and drives her shoulder into the turnbuckle. Nasty, but smart. Maserati then choked Jordan. I mean, Maserati is vicious. Vicious. Do you see this?
She is, I mean, but listen, when you got Tasha, we'll get to that, when you got Tasha Steelz in your corner, all bets are off.
You're onto something. Jordan then hits Maserati with a shoulder block in the corner. I don't know how. Jordan, wow. Maserati returns with a forearm to the face, followed by a big knee to the face. Then double knees. I mean, oh my goodness.
There they go, right there. Got them double knees. That looked really painful.
I don't want knees to my face ever.
Right? Like, I'm so sorry, Jordan, but you know.
After that, Maserati did go for a pin attempt, which was unsuccessful, obviously. Jordan catches Maserati with an uppercut, then two forearms to the face, before hitting a cannonball, which looked unfun. After that, Jordan then hits a Saito suplex for a pin attempt. After that, Maserati with her signature spin kick through the ropes. I love the spin kick through the ropes. That's one of my favorite moves from her, honestly. What do you feel about that move? I love that move.
I think it's a good move when I see anyone do it. I'm like, oh, it's unexpected. And it's just cool. It's just like another cool way that you're utilizing your space, utilizing what is around you in an unconventional way. Even though, like, you know, plenty of people do it, it's still always like great and surprising, right?
And she does it so great. So shout out to you, girl. Then a kick to Jordan's elbow. She's not letting up on any of the arm limbs, like shoulder, elbow, whatever, wrist. She is wearing it out. She then brings Jordan's face to her knee. Very painful, but she is still so disoriented from, you know, all the offense that Jordan gave to even get a pin attempt, unfortunately. Maserati then goes for a spin kick, but Jordan catches her foot, but Maserati follows up with a right hand. After that, Maserati calls Jordan stupid because Maserati. And Maserati misses the spin kick again, and Jordan catches her in a rear naked chokehold. After that, Jordan then reverses into a cross arm breaker, which I thought was a great transition, which I'm not surprised about. Maserati is able to get a sneaky pin attempt, which Blade then reverses into a crossface submission. I know how to say submission, I promise you. Eventually, Jordan's shoulder pain gets to her, and she has to release the hold altogether. Maserati trips Jordan onto the ropes. She then fakes a leg injury, while Tasha Steelz hits a dropkick on Jordan from the outside through the ropes. Maserati then hits a whiplash spin kick, and then Maserati is your winner. 1, 2, 3. What are your thoughts on this match?
I thought it was a really good match. Tasha, though, like, you didn't have to do that. Maserati got bodied. This is true. This is very true. Tasha, you didn't have to interfere like this. I think actually Maserati had it. And Tasha did not need to interfere, but I think she was like, let's end this. I think she was a little afraid that, you know, things were going to fall apart, which we do see later on. So yeah. Good match overall. Didn't need that interference.
Yeah, no, not at all, honestly. But, you know, Maserati, Tasha Steelz combo, you're going to get an interference of some. You just gonna, unfortunately. But I did enjoy this match for what it was. And I was glad I got to see these two lock up. I really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
much. Also, Roderick, thank you. I appreciate the kind words, and I'm feeling better. So, I'm trying.
Right. You know what, Roderick? I will eventually get to NXT. Listen, there is so much. Like, I don't know how y'all be watching everything. Like, I am like firmly planted in the AEW camp right now, and then I'll do like the PLEs for like WWE, right? Like any of their, I'll do that, and then like I'll try to do a little GCW. But there's so much. So NXT, it'll happen. I just don't know when. So
it's great over here. I'm telling you, NXT is great. It's great over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's get back into the show. So Ashley Dubois backstage in French says she is 2-0 in Women's Wrestling Army at this point. And she says she knows that Trish Adora is awesome, but her record is not as flawless as hers, and she looks to continue that. What do you think about her saying all that?
I was like, Ashley, you are about to find out. Period. That's it.
Even though I do love Ashley, I love her confidence. I love her in-ring ability. I think she always brings out moves that I've never seen before. Or she does it in a way that's like, it's different. Like she tweaks it, makes it her own in a sense, which I love. I love innovation. But Trish Adora also has a lot of innovation as well. So,
sure does.
Hey, I was happy to see them both go.
Mm-hmm.
So we get into the match now. Ashley comes out, and she's very confident, as you could see. Trish then comes out looking. I just love her energy. The crowd is chanting. At first, they're just chanting Trish, but then we get dual chants. It was a very split crowd, which I like. It means the crowd was lively. What were you excited about this when you said they were gonna go at it?
I mean, I actually was. Again, like I think this is like a really great pairing. Like we've seen Ashley Dubois, right? We know that how much of a powerhouse she is, right? And so, and I think her confidence also helps. Like it backs it up. It's not like false confidence. She has the moves, and we already know Trish Adora is like one of the like most beloved, wrestlers, definitely on the indie circuit. So like we already know what we're coming into. So I thought this was a great pairing. I thought it was really good.
No, absolutely agree. So we get into it, and right away they lock up. Trish gets her in a hammer lock. Ashley gets a leg takedown and starts working Trish's leg. Trish gets a pin attempt. Doesn't go anywhere. Obviously, we're so early into the match. After that, Ashley then gets Trish in a waist lock. Trish reverses into an arm hold whilst wrenching her arm over her shoulder. Very smart. Trish goes for another roll up. I was surprised at how many pin attempts it was in the beginning. I was like
within the first the first minute or two, like it was.
Yeah, I'm like, girls.
Now we're trying to pull the Alicia Edwards, where she was like, I want to get this show on the road. Let's go. Let's be done.
Honestly, no, that's literally what's going on. So after that, Trish then goes for another roll up. Ashley gets Trish in a hammer lock. Trish pulls Ashley's leg from under her to escape. They lock up again, and Trish sweeps Ashley's legs from under her for a pin attempt yet again. Then a second pin attempt. I'm like, oh my god, what is going on with these pin attempts here? Trish then goes for a waist lock. Ashley reverses into a wrist lock. Trish rolls out, kind of just to get her wits about her. Comes back in. Test of strength. Trish then hits a Northern Lights suplex with a bridge for a pin attempt yet again. Ashley kicks Trish in the stomach. Trish catches her in a peculiar submission, which puts pressure on Ashley's neck. I keep saying I'm gonna find out the name of this move. I'm telling you, this is the last time. I mean it. What were your thoughts in the beginning?
I mean, I don't know the name of the moves either. I tried to keep track of them, but I'm like, I know the Lariat Tubman because baby, what a name, which we will get to. But I try to keep track. I like their test of strength. That's what I'm trying to say. I like that a little bit, and it's always great to again, like I say this a lot, like every time we see like them lock up in that way, like I really like to really just take a look at what it is that they're doing and how, you know, they're getting in and out of these moves and how like much, what is the word? How
like innovative they are.
It is, but also like how difficult it is, because it may not look like anything is what I'm saying. Is that like, so at first when I would watch, I'd be like, well, what are they doing? Doesn't really look like they're doing much. They're like locking their hands and they're twisting around. But then I'm like, oh, okay, like I get it. Your arm can only go so far and you have to find a way. That's what I mean.
I see what you mean. I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Just appreciation for this technical aspect. That is all.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
So back in the match, they trade wrist locks until Trish twists Ashley's shoulder into the mat. As Ashley comes back into the ring after that, Trish tried to grab her, and Ashley drives her neck over the top rope. Ashley then hits some sort of neck breaker, and then Ashley then hits a scoop slam, following up, then a leg drop. I mean, Ashley was laying it on thick, as she should. Ashley then tries to whip Trish off the ropes, but Trish holds tight. After a few reversals, we get a neck breaker from Ashley for another pin attempt. Trish keeps hitting Ashley with forearms to the gut. Ashley then drives Trish's face first into the turnbuckle, followed by a chop. Ashley hits a snap mirror, then kicks to the spine. Then puts pressure on her shoulder blades with, this kind of like a hold of putting her feet straight into Trish's, back right between the shoulder blades. I mean, it's terrible. Trish stands up, which gets her a pin attempt, and then it makes Ashley have to break the hold. Trish goes for an interesting pin attempt yet again. Ashley tried to pull Trish up, but she reversed and twisted her shoulder into the mat again. Trish was not letting up on that shoulder, I'll tell you that much. Both women laid out until a 5 count. Trish unloads on Ashley and then hits a pump kick followed by a senton for a pin attempt. How are you feeling about just everything going on right now in the mid part of this match?
Okay, so this move that Ashley hits when she comes back in, like from the outside, I think they called it the, oh shoot, I don't remember what they called it, but she rolled and then like rolled again. I played that back like 3 or 4 times and I was like, how did she do that? That is incredible.
It's like in French, right? I think it's like in a French like name, but I don't know French, okay?
You're not trying to tear up nobody's language, okay? But I thought that move was so cool and like brought a whole different momentum to it, because as you could see, Trish Adora was like, what is happening? Like she was stunned. Right. And so I think it just took it to a whole new level. In my opinion, that's how I felt. So
good. I agree. Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying, because that's kind of like something what I said earlier. It's like Ashley brings these moves and like in certain ways that I've never seen them done. And that's just kind of like makes me such a fan. Like I love when I get taught something new by a wrestler. I think that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, back into the match, trading waist locks until Trish hits a suplex with a bridge for a pin attempt. Ashley goes for her finisher, but Trish rolls her over. Ashley delivers a kick to the head. Trish hooks Ashley's leg and delivers a fisherman suplex for a pin attempt. Oklahoma roll for another pin attempt. Ashley goes for a backslide pin attempt. Trish then goes for a roll-up pin attempt. A backbreaker by Trish. Trish then hits the, say it, what is it?
The Lariat Tubman, baby. Which I was like, when I first heard that, I said, no, it is not called the Lariat Tubman. Let's go. Okay, like, let's go. Leading these folks to freedom with your lariat. Freeing you from having to wrestle me any longer because you're going to lose. Let's go, Trish Adora. Who takes it, of course. So, before we continue on, wait a minute. You said it was called the Oklahoma what?
The Oklahoma roll.
What is that? Which one was that? What is that? Not the Oklahoma.
It was so many pin attempts. It was the very first one after she did the fisherman suplex. After that pin attempt, that's when she did the Oklahoma roll.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and some commentary. because Oklahoma, okay, we'll get it. Anyway, Trish Adora takes it. Ashley Dubois was not happy backstage. She was like, I don't know what this is, but this ain't it.
She was like, I don't lose. I was like, what the hell was this?
I mean, sis, delusional, but hey, why not? We will see you next time because we love you. Before we get into our next match, do you want to go ahead and air a commercial?
Oh my God. You know what? You know what? I do. I do.
Hey peeps, TK Trinidad here, boss lady of Women's Wrestling Talk. And I want to say thank you so much for watching because you've got millions of options. Plus, you don't have to worry about sharing your password to check us out. But while you're here, hopefully you know we have so many more shows to watch, like Turnbuckle Glam, Raw post-show, WoW post-show, AEW Dynamite post-show, Women's Wrestling Army post-show, NXT post-show, Impact Wrestling post-show, AEW Rampage and SmackDown Live post-show, On the Scroll, ROH post-show, WWT Live, plus all of our interviews with the hottest women's wrestlers in the game. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our website at www.talkpod.com and follow us on all social media platforms at www.talkpod, and make sure to spread the word. That means send this to the group chat. Yes, even the person with the green bubble. Thanks again so much for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Ciao for now.
Yes, check us out. Okay, so we got a little bit of backstage, just quick. We just see people coming in. They gave us nice little footage of people coming in and getting their programs, or was it a program? I don't know. The guy held up a piece of paper. I assumed it was a program. You don't get programs I mean, maybe at Women's Wrestling Army you do, but it was nice to see them, walking in. And listen, I love the dudes like supporting the women in these, like, I love it. And they like go in, they go hard for them. Makes my heart happy.
They really do.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that was it. It was just like it was a snippet. It was really quick. So anyway, we can get into the next one. The main event.
Dum, dum, dum. I'm working on a sound. Yes. Queen Aminata versus Janai Kai, the kick demon. I already knew just because I was excited because obviously the hype was crazy, especially from the documentary. So I'm like, this gonna be good. What were your initial thoughts and feelings, like, upon them coming out and seeing just like the vibe of the crowd?
Oh, I mean, I was already hyped. Like, these are like, I feel like these are two of our favorites for sure from Women's Wrestling Army. And I think us briefly talking about this match a few weeks ago, I think it just gave, for me, it was like, it was already hyped just from the clips that I had seen. And I was like, I'm just hold off on watching it until time for us to talk about it. But I knew it was going to be a good one. They did not disappoint.
No, they did not.
Nope.
So let's get into it. So right away, they're facing off. Queen, as Queen would, pushes Janai. I'm not shocked. She's always sassy. I love it. Janai gets Queen in a headlock. Queen reverses into her own headlock. Janai then goes for a hammerlock, which Queen reverses into another side headlock. Queen then starts trying to give damage to Kai's arm, but Kai rolls through into a wrist lock, which Queen then reverses into her own wrist lock. Queen then transitions into a hammerlock. Janai reverses into a headlock. I mean, oh my goodness. Then starts wrenching at Queen's arm. Queen kicks Kai's legs, then goes into a wrist lock. Kai returns the kicks, as the kick demon would, and then slams Queen on the mat back first, 2 times actually. Queen then hits a forearm that Kai returns with an open palm strike. Queen kicks Kai, and Kai returns with a slap. Queen hits a side headlock, and it looks like she was trying to go for a side headlock takeover, but Janai overpowers her in that moment, and then Kai starts applying pressure to Queen's shoulder on the mat. with a lot of vicious kicks straight to the shoulder. I mean, oh my goodness. Queen eventually gets to the ropes though. What were your thoughts just on the beginning of like how this was trained? I mean, the trading of holds back and forth.
I mean, they were going in from the beginning, and I could barely capture photos. Because like it was just going back and forth, and just so you know, we screenshot. That's what I do. I screenshot the photos. So it's difficult to like, you know what I mean, to get the movements and stuff because they were going hard from the beginning. I mean, Queen Aminata, she was brave, and she was like, I'm just kick her a little bit, and Janai said, I'm gonna kick you back, and then we'll see later on that she's gonna make her pay. She's gonna make her pay a little bit.
She said, don't do that. Stop that. So after Queen gets to the ropes and rolls out, Queen then sits in the audience. And she kind of tries to get her wits about her.
Yo, look at the dude in the red hyping her up with the mask on. You can tell he's like, you can do this. Like, I don't know what he was saying, but I imagine he was like hyping her up, like, you got this. You are Queen Aminata. Let's go.
That would have been me. Like I would have like had a fan. Girl, you got this. I'm telling you, I really would. After Queen finally gets in the ring after a count out to 7, Janai comes in fast with kicks that Queen backs away onto the rope. She's like, hold up. Just pull it back real quick. Queen then hits a side headlock takeover, which she was looking for in the beginning. Janai then sneaks in a pin attempt with this. Queen goes back to the same submission. Queen then gets Kai in a front face lock whilst pounding on her back. I mean, oh my goodness. They were trying to really hurt each other. Kai drives Queen into the corner. Queen moves and gets an open palm strike, then another to follow up. They trade open palm strikes till Queen then delivers a thunderous slap to the face. I mean, the disrespect.
That was a very loud slap to the face. Yeah. I don't know.
I heard it with my own 2 ears.
Right? Yes.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Definitely a good matchup.
Absolutely. Then after the slap, Queen then comes up with a snap mirror into a rear chin lock. Then gives some juice to Janai. Some juice.
I love Liddy Leonard, who's like, okay, I'm not gonna touch this. Alyssa's like, let me take over. She's like, it's the juicy. I'm like, Liddy, it's okay. Like you're good. You're good. Alyssa was cracking me up on commentary. She was speaking her little French as well with Ashley Dembois. It was so funny. I'm like, she's adorable. Hilarious. But yes, Queen Aminata gave Janai Kai some juicy. It was hilarious, but effective, I guess.
Oh, very. You know, that juice is something serious. You can't play with it. Okay, don't play with the juice. Then we get a rear chin lock again, but Kai gets to the ropes. It doesn't take her too long to get to the ropes. Kai hits a clothesline for a pin attempt. Queen, they driving out there. Queen goes for a pin attempt, but there's some miscommunication on a kick, and it didn't fully get connected. Like it didn't fully connect. Queen then delivers a snap suplex, then a juicy attack. I feel like I have to make that face when I say juicy. Like, into a huge kick in the corner. I mean, every time Queen does this move, when she kicks you, when she drives from one corner to the other, it is so intense because she goes full out, almost falling out the ring sometimes.
She does. And I think I had a photo, but it was so blurry. I couldn't capture it in all its essence. But when y'all watch this, if you haven't watched it yet, go back and watch it. But it's one of her signature moves. She does it just about every match she does. But like, it looks painful. It's like she's hanging out the ropes. She's hanging out the ring, and so is her opponent. So
that's why you can't even catch a picture, because she's moving at the speed of light.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
It looks painful. Always looks painful.
Yes. So after that huge kick, we get a pin attempt. Kai starts fighting back with multiple strikes, then a kick to the throat 2 times in the corner. I mean, my throat. It's hurting. After that, we do get a pin attempt by Janai. Queen hits a neck breaker for a pin attempt. Kick to the spine by Queen, but of course, Janai is unfazed. She then returns that same kick, and Queen is not unfazed, very much not unfazed at all. Then Queen hits another kick. I don't know why she thought this would work the second time. And again, Kai is not bothered by this. What were your thoughts on this? Because it just cracked me up.
I thought it was hilarious because Janai definitely looked unbothered. And period. I don't know. Like, she just looked unbothered. Was like, well, let me really show you what the kick demon does.
Which is crazy because usually when Queen does that, kicking someone in the spine, they always, are affected. But I mean, I guess it's different for someone who specializes in kicking, has a different pain threshold for when they receive kicks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So after that, Kai hits a snapmare and returns with multiple kicks to the spine and then a pin attempt. Queen sweeps Kai's legs from under her and then hits a huge knee for a pin attempt. They start to trade strikes back and forth. Janai starts to get the best of Queen in this because she specializes in striking. It's not smart to go into a striking match with someone that's like their forte. But Queen does eventually get back in it with a really good headbutt. Queen then runs the ropes, but Janai catches her with a kick. Kai runs the ropes, and Queen catches her with a forearm. So they're just kind of sizing each other up at this point. Both women at that point are laid out, and the crowd gives a standing ovation.
And what are they chanting? Is this where they were chanting during this one that, like, women's wrestling or whatever?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay. Truly iconic.
Mm-hmm.
After an 8 count, when they both were out, they finally get to their feet. Kai catches Aminata with a fast slam for a pin attempt. Kai then hits chaos kicks, then misses one kick. Queen hits a front slam and then puts Kai in the juicy lock. Kai gets to the ropes. Queen then hits a spinning neck breaker, then a double stump for a pin attempt. Eventually, Kai hits a tornado kick and gets the pin. Janai Kai wins. What are your thoughts on this entire match?
I want to say real quick that that Queen got in the ref's face because of that count out, right? Like, she was like, "Now I know, I know that was a 3 count. Like, you do it a lot." But you could really see Queen Aminata's frustration at this point. But I thought that was a hilarious part. But yeah, Janai took it. I honestly had no idea how this one was going to end. I really didn't. I didn't know. I just didn't know. At one point, I really thought with the juicy lock, I thought Janai Kai was going to tap out. Didn't happen.
I honestly had that same thought. I really thought it would be over with the juicy lock, but I mean, Janai Kai is obviously a different breed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, they both were, I thought it was a really, really, really great match. Like, I enjoyed it from start to finish. I mean, I expected nothing less because, I mean, they both are so ridiculously talented, but it was still nice to see it finally. After all the hype we heard, it lived up to the hype fully.
Fully, period. I think it's been, let's see, we're on our episode for this after show, episode 19. This is 19, right? And I think it's been really awesome to just see the trajectory, even though we've gone out of order, right? It's still nice to be able to kind of see the trajectory of how they started to like where they are now and how they've gotten better and just kind of put the pieces all together. So yeah, that's really cool.
No, I totally agree with that. And I feel like, Women's Wrestling Army has put me on to so many different wrestlers. Like, I'll be watching another wrestling show and I'll be like, hey! Like,
truly, I'm so, I mean, of course, when I came into it, like, I didn't know really a lot of who these people were, but you're right, like, you go here and you're like, oh, shoot, like, okay, they're at GCW. Oh my gosh, okay, of course they're on AEW. Oh, okay, oh, they're on Impact. Right, like it connects the dots, and then you see how much love that they get outside of Women's Wrestling Army. Like, you see how much love that they get and why Maria and Bobby really chose these wrestlers. Like, they are proving it.
Fantastic women. Well, that is the end of this episode. So you can tell us where we can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at Aisha Watches. You can see me tweet about what I'm watching, random things, just whatever floats your boat, right? Right now I'm complaining about how much it costs to get furniture delivered to my apartment. Anyway, but you can, right, you can follow me there. And then you can catch me. I don't know why I keep wanting to like talk about All Access. All Access is over. All Access is over. But stay tuned, because we will be, I will be joining the lovely Dynamite Dolls, Al and Mika, including The Last of Us. I will be joining Mika and Al for our new after show, AEW Collision, combined with Rampage. So please stay tuned for that. There will be lots of tweets and things about that. That's going to be exciting. Anyway, I've just spoken too much. Shay, where can we find you next?
You can find me right back here in an hour for NXT at 7 p.m. That's
yes.
Like my voice for, like, you know, like if I was like a movie narrator.
Okay. Well, we'll see you in NXT. What's up, Nikki? Yes, Collision coming soon. Yes, tweet it went out today. So if you're not following Women's Wrestling Talk on Twitter or on Instagram or on all of the things, Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, you know, give us a follow, because that's going to be a fun show. Are you ready for the challenge?
You want I got all the tea. I'm not playing. I have all the tea.
I can't. When I found out that the challenge, like, that was the same challenge from like 20 years ago, I said absolutely not. And not me watching the challenge 20 years ago and it's still on.
The Miz got me into that. That's why I love The Miz. I will always rep The Miz.
Listen, this is the truth. This is the truth. And I'm not even gonna lie. Like, that is why I started watching as well. Let's see. We got thumbs up. Nikki is still talking about Tori, but I don't know what you're talking about, Nikki.
I don't know. I know who's in the final. I don't know who's winning yet, but I can tell you who's in the final though.
The Miz is big. He is an original. Truly, can we, like, for a minute? It's so funny because when I watched The Real World with The Miz, with Mike at that time, and I remember him talking about like becoming a professional wrestler. And at that time I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what is he saying? Because he was so ridiculous anyway. And so he would talk about The Miz, and then completely, like, I moved on, right? You watch other TV. And then to find out that he actually became a professional wrestler, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This is amazing. So shout out to him, man. Keeping fans like me, our entire lives. So yeah, that's it. Anyway.
Lit relay. Well, that is it, guys. Thank you for coming to the Women's Wrestling Army After Show on Women's Wrestling Talk. Come on, do it with me. The number one
women's wrestling show on the planet. Wait, we both can't talk because it cancels it out, so they can't hear it.
You know what? I'm still suffering from fever, so I will do the pose and then you do the talk. Okay?
Okay, roll it back. Ready? Thank you so much for joining us on Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling show on the planet. Until next time, peace out.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling show on the planet. Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling show on the planet.